Hello again, everyone. It's a pleasure to greet you again from the ugly green chair. Feels like it's been a little while again. We took last week off focusing on the novena as we prepared for our parish feast day. So as we resume again, I wanted to share something that has been on my mind, and I knew that the time would come for me to share this, and now's as good a time as any as we come to the end of August. And at the beginning of August, I identified this as a month of discernment, a month of discerning what is our next step, where is the Lord leading us next, and how much it has been a month of really being reminded that discernment is always one step at a time. What is the next step the Lord is calling me to take? Well, so this seems like as good a time as any to sort of make this confession I have to make about something that, to be honest, I always knew would happen when the whole quarantine process started in the end of March or the middle of March, still kind of early in March even, and even not knowing yet how long it would take, how long it would last. I knew it would happen eventually. No, not that I would learn how to bake bread, or not that I would take up gardening or woodworking or any of those other great habits that some of you have been taking up, and I've been hearing about some of those on Coffee with Parishioners. Nope, not that. I knew it would happen eventually, that eventually, before the quarantine was over, that I'd watch the Frozen movies. And the story behind why I hadn't seen the Frozen movies has to do with the fact that the summer after the first one came out, I had taken the teenagers in my parish where I was at the time, the youth group, on a missions trip, and so I spent like a lot of a week, with a group of teenagers in my car, and gradually, sometimes letting them pick the music. And let's just say that I became so familiar with the soundtrack to Frozen, I felt like I had seen it. So I think that has something to do with why I never watched it. But I just sort of knew it would happen eventually, and none of those movies are perfect. I could do a whole different conversation about how important it is to not let Disney or any other kind of secular voices have sort of absolute reign or absolute freedom to sort of teach our children, which we sometimes give them that freedom, and we shouldn't. But that could be a whole different conversation. But one thing that struck me that I wanted to mention, and ever since it struck me, I thought that'd be worth sharing in one of these videos. There's a song, and there's a couple songs in that movie that I thought were even better than the songs in the first one. But again, I might be biased because I was probably pretty sick of those songs by the end of that 1 week's missions trip. But there's a song in there, and maybe you've heard it. It's called "The Next Right Thing," and it really, not to give you spoilers about the story, but the character is in a very, very tough, dark place, and she's singing about this very dark place that she's in, and she feels that hope is lost, but she must go on and do the next right thing. And the simplicity of the concept that she's presenting, how to rise from the floor, but it's not you that I'm rising for. That has to do with something in the story. Just do the next right thing. Take a step again. It is all that I can do, the next right thing. I won't look too far ahead. It's too much for me to take. But break it down to this next breath, this next step, this next choice is one that I can make. So I'll walk through this night, stumbling blindly toward the light, and do the next right thing. I think that's pretty good. It's not original, and that's okay. Not everything needs to be original. But in fact, it's precisely because it's not original that I like it, that I was struck by it. Because you see, it's kind of a pretty decent secular take on a beautiful, profound poem by a great saint, St. John Henry Newman. Lead, kindly light. Lead, kindly light, amidst the encircling gloom. Lead thou me on. The night is dark, and I am far from home. Lead thou me on. Keep thou my feet. I do not ask to see the distant scene. One step enough for me. I was not ever thus, nor prayed that thou shouldst lead me on. I loved to choose and see my path, but now lead thou me on. I loved the garish day. In spite of fears, pride ruled my will. Remember not past years. So long thy power hath blessed me, sure it still will lead me on. Or moor and fen, or crag and torrent, till the night is gone. And with the morn those angel faces smile, which I have loved long since and lost a while. Meanwhile, along the narrow rugged path thyself hast trod. Lead, Saviour, lead me home in childlike faith, home to my God, to rest forever after earthly strife in the calm light of everlasting life. I love the beauty of what St. John Henry Newman has left us with in these words. That we can't seek the distant scene, but one step is enough for us. One step is enough for me. How beautiful! And the beauty is that this poem has captivated many, and it's inspired many, Christian songs over the years, even in recent years. And I wanted to share one other example of a recent Christian song. This is from a Catholic song, actually, from one of the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, Brother Isaiah, who makes some very very nice music. I enjoy it. It's modern, but it's relaxing and it's chill and prayerful, and his lyrics are often very insightful, but with a beautiful simplicity. And sometimes that simplicity takes the form that with some of his lyrics, he likes to end sentences with the word child so that they can rhyme with the last sentence that ended in the word child. I love it. But this is one such song, "Come Follow Me," and we hear the glimpses of the inspiration, and he's obviously drawing on a lot of influences here, but definitely drawing on John Henry Newman. As toward the end he says, "Then lead on, kindly light, and let your love be my guide through this wilderness where we're all just passing by, 'cause with you by my side, don't need a light, I'll only need to sing. So take my prayer and let it rise. Lead me on, my shepherd king, lead me on, my everything. Lead me on, O kindly light, lead on and let me sing. Come follow me, come follow me, come follow me, my child." And he keeps repeating that. And some of the beautiful lyrics earlier in the song. So that's toward the end, in which he specifically uses the "lead, kindly light." But another beautiful song about taking one step at a time, and I'm looking for some of the specific lyrics I wanted to share. And that's all we make our way. O poco a poco vamos a llegar, which is Spanish. It's interesting, the lyrics site I'm looking at thinks it's Latin. They just assume because a Catholic's singing it that it's Latin, but it's Spanish. But anyway, and that's all. We make our way. Little by little, we learn a little more each day that God is love, that life is short, that all will be well, and I know all will be well in His time. Jumping forward a little bit. "And though I struggle along with all my cares and my troubles, it seems you never leaving, no, you always help me when I stumble. It's a wonder how you love me so, and I love it how you let me know. come follow me, my child. But here's the thing. I don't want to let you lead. I'm struggling to see. I got my cares, I got my worries, and I got my needs. So I think you got the wrong guy. And I thank you, good Lord, but I'd politely decline. But then you come to me, speaking so softly, you speaking to me. I will carry you, child. I will take care of you, and I'll be there for you, and I'll never leave you, and I'll always bear your cares for you. I will carry you, child. So come follow me, my child. So I think this month has been a lesson, and this year largely has been a lesson. Life is a lesson of learning to be okay with taking one step at a time, letting the Lord reveal to us one step at a time, and just letting him lead. And sometimes we get ourselves worried. I know I experience it. The more I think about all that maybe I have to do in the next month or week or year, that's when I get overwhelmed, right? When I focus on, okay, what do I need to do right now? What is the Lord calling me to do right now? And I'm going to do that right now, and I'm just going to do it to the best of my ability. That's where I find peace. That's where I find confidence. That's where I find that I'm learning to let the Lord lead. Because so often we get ourselves in trouble when we forget that we're not the ones leading. He's the one leading, right? And we can go through this experience of worrying about how we're going to lead, how we're going to find this path or that, when in reality, we need to just let him lead. And that's when we start worrying about, like the moment he describes in the song in which he says he doesn't want to let the Lord lead. Actually, it's one of those moments, I'm not sure what the exact lyric is. This lyric site thinks it's, I want to let you leave. And that might be what he's saying. But because I got my worries, I got my cares and my struggles, and I think you got the wrong guy. So I thank you, good Lord, but I'd politely decline. But then you come to me, speaking so softly, but speaking to me. I will carry you, child. I'll never leave you, and I'll always bear your cares for you. Friends, that's where we find peace. When we let the Lord be with us, carry us through each moment, each day, and we just strive to focus on taking one step at a time. We just let him reveal one step. That's enough for us. So I'm going to make a choice here and now that with the grace of God, with his help, I want to let it be enough for me. And I hope that you can let it be enough for you today. God bless.